Good morning, everyone. So today on lesson 3 is going to be over Article 1, Section 3, which goes over the Senate. So today we're going to be going over the Senate and the requirements of the Senate. Yesterday we did Congress, or the House of Representatives, right? The whole Congress, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate. Yesterday we did the House of Representatives, which makes up part of Congress, and now today we're going to go over the Senate. And then on Monday, because today's Friday, on Monday we'll start going over Section 4, 5, and the rest of the sections, which basically go over organization of Congress. So the Senate, right? So first of all, for the Senate, let me just read what the Senate says, right? So we know that Congress, right, to be a congressman, 7 years, right? You had to be 7 years a citizen and at least 25 years old. Now let's see what it takes to become senator. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof, changed by Section 1 of the 17th Amendment, for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. So, what's the difference then? The House of Representatives serves 2 years, so every 2 years they have to rerun for election. As a senator, it's every 6 years, so they stay in office longer, right? Okay, so immediately after they shall be assembled in consequence of the first election, they shall be divided as equally as may be into 3 classes. The seats of the senators of the class shall be vacated at the expiration of the 2nd year of the 2nd class, of the expiration of the 4th year, and the 3rd class of the expiration of the 6th year, so that 1/3 may be chosen every 2nd year, and vacancies happen by resignation or otherwise during the recess of the legislature of any state. The executive thereof may make temporary appointments until the next meeting of the legislature, which shall then fill such vacancies. Note that changed by Clause 2 of the 17th Amendment. So what does that mean? Let me stop right there and let's explain that. So the reason they do that is so you have continuity, right, in the Senate, so that every 2nd year, right? So on the 2nd, on the 4th, and on the 6th year, then you have elections. So not every senator, if you have a whole bunch of brand new senators, would be a whole bunch of brand new senators. There's still going to be some continuity in there with some senior senators, because if one senator's in there and he doesn't get elected on after his 6 years, then you would still have some people that were in there, right? So that's why they did that. So you would have some people with experience still in the Senate in order to do that. And that's why our Senate, right, we have 1 Senate race up for election right now. The next senator's election isn't up until, obviously, when his term is up. And I want to say in 2 more years, so that it's every other 2 years or every other 6. And it's only 2 senators per state. So unlike the House of Representatives, or it's by population, right? So every 30,000 gets a representative. So we have 3 House of Representatives here in the state of New Mexico. Congressional District 1, Congressional District 2, and Congressional District 3, right? 3. So that represents the population of the state of New Mexico. So what does that mean for other states? That means, like, for instance, New York City in itself, if you notice, they have Congress or House of Representatives within the city. You might have a district that in one, like the Bronx, for instance, right? You know that just in that area is well above 30,000. So they have their own representative, and that's why New York, California, Texas, and the bigger populated areas have more representatives than the least populated areas. So, but as for Senate, it's equally divided. So each state gets 2 senators. All right. So no person shall be a senator who shall not have attained the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state for which he shall be chosen. So again, it goes back. You still have to be a resident of the state that you're running for, and instead of 25 and 7, it's now 30 and 9. 30 years of age and 9 years a citizen. Again, as a senator or a House of Representative member, you don't have to be a naturally born citizen like the President of the United States. Okay, so there it is. 30 years old, 9 years a citizen for a senator. Okay, the Vice President of the United States shall be President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless it be equally divided. So, unlike the House of Representatives, where you have a Speaker of the House who actually has a vote, right? You have the Vice President of the United States who acts as the head of the Senate, right? But he only has a tie-breaking vote. So if it's equally divided and it's equal, then he's the tie-breaking vote. The Senate shall choose their other officers and also President pro tem in the absence of the Vice President, or when he shall exercise the office of President of the United States. So in other words, you also have a President pro tem. So the Vice President acts as President of the Senate, and then you have a President pro tem who fills in whenever he's doing vice presidential duties, or he's acting in the capacity of the President if something happens there. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments when sitting for the purpose. They shall be an oath of affirmation when the President of the United States is tried. The Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. Okay, so now yesterday we talked about the Congress, or the House of Representatives, had the sole purpose to actually impeach, right? So they impeach. The impeachment then goes and gets forwarded to the Senate, and we've seen this all play out this year, right? So it gets forwarded to the Senate, and then the Senate tries the impeachment. So it's the trial. So they're basically the jury for the impeachment, and the judge is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. That's who presides over the impeachment. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and to enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States, but the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to law. Okay, so Senate versus House of Representatives, right? So let's compare and contrast the Senate and the House of Representatives. So the House of Representatives, 7 years a citizen of the United States, and 25 years of age to run for office. Senate, you have to be 30 years of age and 9 years a citizen to run for office. The House of Representatives have the power of impeachment, and the Senate tries the impeachment with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court presiding over the trial. So we're going to go get more in depth of exactly what stuff goes, because that's what the rest of the sections go over, how it all comes together, how when the House of Representatives passes a bill or puts a bill forward, it goes to the Senate, and then the Senate, they go into different committees, and then they change things that they want, and then they send it back to the House, and there's a whole process, and we're going to go over some of that because it gets defined in all of the rest of the Constitution. This great document that we have, right? Just remember, and for all of those who are serving, as you can see, it is Friday, Morning Red for Friday, remembering everyone deployed. All of us who've served both military, law enforcement, first responders, anybody who's taken an oath of office, this is what they take the oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. So this is what we're protecting. This is what we are protecting, defending, the rights of the people, we the people. Okay, so again, this is lesson 3 over the Senate, and I appreciate you for paying attention, and again, send me your emails, your questions. I appreciate all the responses so far from the students and from the people who just want to learn the Constitution. And we're going over this slowly so we can cover the whole entire Constitution, right? I don't want to go, to basically say all kinds of other stuff and get involved in stuff and try to teach you the Constitution in one day. I'm trying to get it so you can understand it, so that each section will break it down and we'll go from there. So again, the Senate tomorrow, or rather Monday, we'll go over organization of Congress, how it all gets organized, right? And that's section 4, and we'll go over that. I appreciate you tuning in to the Constitutional Minute. And again, God bless. Have a great day and a great weekend.